It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello there, Sam.
Hello.
We have EJ. We are doing Nerd Jock, but let's get the important stuff out of the way before we ruin the show.
Oh, bear suit! Look, here it comes.
Yeah.
And it has to be one of the Stinky Bear suits, not a brand new one that you just
Don't let him talk
bought.
to you like that. And he
they're
also
all
said
stinky.
Stinky Bear Stoots. He said Stoots.
Stoots, yeah.
Stoots is not a word.
Well, we'll talk about the challenge here in a second because
All right.
Crystal started to get me nervous last night. I never talked to her about
She got
anything.
in your head?
Yeah.
You never talked to her about anything.
Well, about
Well,
the
not
show,
about, like, the
business. She's tired of hearing it.
You
Yeah.
give her a new cockamamie. You'll give her like a couple of business ideas. Then she'll want to vent to you, but then you'll give her a solution, and then she'll get mad at you because she didn't want a solution, right?
So I'm asking her, I'm like, where are my chubbies of bathing suits?
Oh, yeah.
And
I hate the name of that company.
And she's like, what do you need it for? I'm like, I'm doing this swim challenge tomorrow. She's like, oh, my God.
You're back again.
Like, why are you doing this to
Now,
yourself?
the last swim challenge you did was the Healthy Trim Matthew swim challenge. We were both on the Monsters, and you swam against that guy for like, what, $30,000 or something, $15,000?
Was it swimming or was it just laying on top of a sales guy in,
no,
the,
it
in
was,
the river? Or
No,
whatever?
you were being weighed in a hyperbaric weight tank,
I mean,
right? Weren't you being
It's
weighed?
for healthy trim, wasn't
Weren't you
he?
being weighed nude?
you also like played a video game and like an ice bath.
No, that was
for this show.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I have no
I
idea
know.
why I did that.
Apicary, and I don't know
Believe
why
me,
we did that.
when I was there walking into the hotel,
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why did I agree
I
to do
feel like
this?
bucket
those
challenge,
nerds.
For what?
I feel like it was those guys from the video game and pinball. They would advertise with
Convention.
us, and then
Yeah.
I think they strong-armed us and bullied us
No.
into going too far.
It was because they were spending marketing money with us,
Yeah,
and,
and
I
you
felt
wanted
like
to impress
obligated
them.
to
Yeah,
do
I know.
this
I
thing to promote. I was like, this
But
will
you
bring
didn't
the
need to
people.
do it.
No one cared.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Keith Apicary cared.
Okay, and then after, I was in my car still
Oh, it's
shivering,
cold, yeah. Especially
driving
ice
home.
buckets, Yeah.
But you like a good challenge. I mean, I was even talking to Andrea about this because, like, even Maisie said, you'll love this. Maisie goes, well, when are you going to do a challenge to me? And then Andrea stepped in to Maisie. I didn't even have to say anything. And Andrea goes, he's not the challenge guy.
Daniel's not a stunt boy.
I'm not. Andrea said that. I almost felt like she needed to defend me in some way because my daughter was calling me weak. That was what was happening there. My daughter does think I'm weak, especially now because of my hips.
Did you tell her about it?
Oh, yeah. I don't
Oh.
keep anything from her.
Don't tell her about your
Yeah.
hips.
Oh, I told her about my
No.
hips. And then, like, what did she say? Oh, she was like, you're going to walk me to school, right? You can do that.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Yeah, she's bullying me good.
Oh,
She's
man.
bullying me good.
So I'm at the Willie Nelson concert, and then I see Justin Clark, who's a big-time businessman now.
Isn't that Whopper Jr.?
Yeah.
Used to be
You know,
Whopper Jr.
He'll have you killed.
I know. That's
But as I'm he's like, you growing a mustache, and
He
then
did really?
Oh yeah, because
Yes, he bullied you. That's why I made you
because
do it.
he is like me, where we can't grow facial hair, and that's when we were friends 20 years ago. We always talked about how we can't grow any
I
facial
don't
hair.
really see a difference between yours and mine right now.
No,
I don't see a difference.
Well, in a beard, maybe
Tom's
my
getting
mustache.
a little bit darker because of that stuff we just put on.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's like, and then I started explaining to him how I lost a bet with this guy, this fatso from the show.
God damn.
So you got to watch out for the fat side.
And then he was trying to
I
be
told you
polite, but he was like, oh, he was trying.
Yeah.
But I saw it in his eyes.
He's like, you're still doing the same
doing
thing.
Oh,
that
the
he did."
chemicals
You
are
haven't
getting in your throat.
He's still, you're still.
Allergic reaction.
His lips are burning off.
Well, you're not supposed to eat the hair dye. You're supposed to put it on your lips.
Yeah, but he mouth breathes,
it's
so he
burning
just
like
sucks it all
crazy.
over the back.
How else am I supposed to breathe? My nose holes are too small.
They're pretty big.
You got big nose holes.
No,
Oh,
but
no.
inside it's
Oh,
small,
yeah.
like
Oh,
my
yeah.
brain.
Aw.
I thought you were from Miami.
I do like the fact that Whopper Jr. is bullying you because you are doing a variation of what you did 25 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
he,
he's
he
not-
wasn't
he's-
bullying me. He was trying to be nice. He was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then I
In the back of
realized,
his mind, he was like, God, he's still doing
Yeah,
it.
He's
yeah.
the chief
This
financial
poor-
officer, right? CFO? I think he's the CFO.
Yeah,
Or
COO.
COO?
Yeah.
Chief
Operations,
Operating
yeah.
Officer, yeah.
And
What
then-
are you?
It's like if you started out as ball boys in the MLB, and then one of the ball boys moved on to
So
like
it's like
general
Mike McDaniel's
management.
story,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Yeah.
But then the other guy is still
Yeah, a
washing
ball boy.
the docks.
Well, I mean, normally it means that you're special needs because it means that, you know, you ever see
it means a
Oh,
lot.
you're cute. Where's your
all you're
helmet?
doing is I am a Publix bagger for life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And that usually means that you are of unfortunate birth.
And I think he thought that I was above that by now.
Well, for
and
a
that I was
while,
like
we went through a
running some
phase.
sort of successful podcast because he sees, he's like, I see the T-shirt, so something.
Well, for a while, we went through a phase where we could say we own our own company and we do this and do that. But I feel like the Grim Reaper's chasing you, and you've been feeling it. So lately, you've been leaning further into challenge land,
Yeah, you want to feel
which
alive.
I feel like invigorates something within yourself.
I didn't even start this. This started.
Yeah, but you didn't stop it.
Yeah, but this started with EJ like I've been swimming 50 laps every day, which we knew obviously
That's
was
a
a
lie.
lie.
It's not true. We know
I
that's a
was
lie.
doing it.
And then some.
There's video evidence of it.
Video evidence of it. Yeah, there's video evidence of the
right.
fourth gun on the grassy knoll. Come on, man.
So back
There's
to
no video evidence.
Back to why I got nervous last night. So because this all started, EJ's like, "Oh,
You got
swim
nervous
faster
because you
than
talked to your wife, and that's your fault.
Yeah, your wife got in your head, which I love.
And,
Thank you, Crystal.
And EJ's like, I can swim faster than you, and then I was like, "There's no way
No,
this
you
is
could.
possible." Well, it's like it's not even physically possible.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not.
Yeah, it's like Stephen Hawking challenging you to race around the block.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
So then that's when I was like, well, of course I can swim faster than you. And then EJ was so confident that I had to challenge him. I didn't even want to.
Well,
you think
it's
I
just-
want to go off to the Baldwin swimming pool?
It's just basic, and we're not walking in the Baldwin swimming pool because EJ's too fat. We're driving. No, it's like
dare you.
it's like Oh, no, continue. Just continue. Sorry.
Anyway, so then Crystal was like, well, why would he challenge? Because I was asking her, I'm like, well, you've seen EJ. There's no way he could beat me in a swimming
I
competition.
actually thought he looked pretty good today
And
when
then-
he walked in. I was like, it looks pretty good.
And then she was like, well, he's taller than you, and he used to be a professional or a college athlete.
Right.
And so
He's never been a professional. Are you
No,
not
no,
crazy?
But his arm span is bigger than yours. So he's like,
yeah,
and
but he's slow like George Foreman.
He's got those big kicking legs.
he's
Look at
slow.
those things.
though.
and then so
Yeah, but they're as wide as they are long. They're big, flat,
It's a
big
big
old
manatee paddle.
Yeah, it's a big old beaver feet.
And then she was also like, why would he challenge you if he wasn't confident that he could possibly
because
win?
he's dumb. too.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah,
And then I was like,
that's
why
why we're-
you
you
Tell me Stephen Hawking and then he called me dumb. Okay.
You're one of the dumbest people I know.
And
One of
then-
my
How dare
favorite. You're one of
you.
my favorite
And
people,
then
but you're
Crystal's
one of the
like,
dumbest.
I don't know. It sounds like it's a trap. And he
not
said
a-
Joe
that's not a-
setup. Yeah. And then
You think it's a big dumb
and then
setup?
I'm like, and then she's like, well, what do you have to do? I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna lose her. She's like, well, what do you? And then I'm like, well, I have to wear the bear suit for a week
Your
of
face,
broadcasting.
your face is turning bright, and it's like you have an allergic
Stop
reaction.
rubbing it.
Was that poison? I feel weak.
I gotta get my EpiPen and jam it
Was
in
it all a brilliant plan to poison me before the race?
I didn't tell you
still.
to do it before the race.
Hold still, I have to jam
Oh,
my
he's gonna put the
EpiPen into your
chlorine on
lips.
it? Oh.
I feel lightheaded.
Wait a minute, that's my bit. I feel lightheaded.
My lips burn. Anyway, let's do
Put
the
that
nerd
stuff on
jock.
my hips. Maybe I'll burn them back in the good.
We're doing the race next segment, but we're doing nerd jock first.
All
Let's do
right,
it.
Okay.
nerd jock it is. Let's do it.
Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
It's nerd jock with EJ. By the way, if EJ loses, he has to perm his hair.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
we haven't talked about
God.
that.
My hair's long.
I don't know which I want more, Tom to lose or to see EJ with a perm.
Yeah,
What
but
does it do to your hair? It just makes it tight.
It's curly.
It'll make it tight,
Tight
and
curly.
curly. It'll be
Yeah.
like tight and curly.
Like Justin
so-
Timberlake.
Justin
So he's
Timberlake.
gonna,
Yeah.
you know what he's gonna look like? He's gonna look like a real molester person.
Oh, no. And the problem is I
Straight
have
up.
a football game, like our homecoming for high school. I'm going on Friday, so I
Don't go
have
to that with
win.
a perm. Don't go to that with a perm.
I'm going to wear a hat for sure if I have to.
No, you can't wear
Like
a
a
hat.
10-gallon hat.
No, that'll ruin it.
That's
you
part
gotta
of it?
let it
Okay.
breathe.
Well, you're not
You
supposed
ever,
to
you
get in
ever
the shower.
seen
I
anybody's
saw,
old grandma wear the
Lena the
hat?
blonde.
You can't wear a hat once you've permed yourself.
So your hair is gonna look like jet black
Curly.
Justin hot dog leg.
Or like a Napoleon Dynamite. That was a perm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's do you have first?
Well, let's start off. I went to Halloween Horror Nights on Friday. So I had a really good time. I did all 10 houses. We got there early for the Stay and Scream.
You got a fast pass scenario?
Didn't use a fast pass.
And you got
I
through all of
never
them.
use a fast pass. If you do it right, you can do all 10 houses in the same night if you do it right.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
That's
That
not what
sounds-
social media says.
Well, they're wrong. That's the way they sell those express passes. And sometimes the express pass lane is longer than the regular lane.
Like looking at the pictures of people filing in there, and this is
It
this is
Oh,
no
yeah.
hate. This is no hate because I'm really happy. We've worked with Universal before, and I love them, but it looks miserable to me.
Yeah, it
Like I
does.
look at that, and I'm like, that is.
But
That's exactly why they do the Stay and
so
Scream.
many
Because
people.
There's
if you're
been-
in that outside area, it's going to take you a while to get in the park. because no one knows where their tickets are. It
Yeah.
takes them forever to get to the turnstile.
But I don't know this to be true, but it's not like they raised the capacity. It's the same as it was last year, right?
Right.
It's just getting
Well, they have
negative.
one less skeleton, so you can fit one more
Yeah.
person in there.
Yeah, because it seems like for whatever reason this year social media, because it's showing up on my algorithm on my TikTok or whatever, like, oh, this is the reality of Halloween Horror Nights, and it shows the lines, and I'm like, well, this has always been the reality to
Yeah.
me, right? It's not like it's more busy now than it has been last
Yeah,
year, right?
I mean, it's hard to navigate it. If you don't like crowds, it's not going to be your thing.
Oh,
but
no.
I will
but it's
say,
always been this way,
right,
Yeah.
right. And I would just say stop complaining. Either like and go to it or don't. You know,
Yeah.
but don't go to it and complain because you know what it is. I'm with you.
Well, everybody, that's what everybody does on social media.
Don't
but
do that.
why
Stop
this
doing
year
that.
and not years past?
I always get through all the houses. It
Yeah,
never
you've
fails
never
me.
had a problem.
I've never had a problem.
You've never even complained.
You
either.
always do the stay and scream because that means you're in line for the first house right when it opens. So we did Last of Us first. We did the one that we thought was going to be the longest line, and it's at the very back
So
of the
you
park
did
by
First of Us.
Men in Blacks, yeah. So we did that first, and then what you do is you use the app on your phone, and it tells you the wait times, and you just pick the ones that are short and just go to that next one and then kind of time it out right.
Well, this is what Andrea does.
Yeah, I
Checks
I
out.
definitely Andrew would be okay doing this.
Yeah, checks out. I mean, I've done it before with a VIP tour and breeze through
Oh,
it.
the VIP is the best. If you can afford it, it's the best way
But
to
honestly,
do it.
EJ never has a problem, never complains, and yes, he never uses FastPass because he's cheap.
I am
kind of-
cheap. I don't want to spend the money on it.
Yeah,
it's such a waste.
You don't
sometimes.
drink either. You just go, I don't even know why you're there.
I prefer to show up with no plan and then stand in the longest line and then social media complain about it. That's
Complain
my
about
vibe.
it.
Yeah, complain, spend too much money complaining.
You did it to yourself, and then you blame the event for it. Yeah.
This is what reality is. Look at all these people.
And I chose to be in reality.
Yeah, Bill Burr did a whole bit about that, about Super Mario World in California, and he did a horrible time. Like, you did it wrong. That's why
Yeah,
you got in
you-
trouble. Yeah,
you gotta do
You did
it
it to
right.
yourself. Don't blame the place for it.
In
Yeah.
your opinion, favorite house?
or
Or
okay,
maze?
Stranger Things is the best IP house. There is a scene where they're at the house in the Upside Down where the clocks and Vecna's there.
Okay.
It's huge.
And they did a great job with it.
fantastic
Yeah,
visually. It's
awesome.
amazing, but like scary, it's not that scary.
Yeah, I like the ones that aren't that
Visually,
scary.
it's amazing.
I'm with Sam and other
Yeah.
people. Like I
I
like
like the art of it. I
Yeah,
don't want to
exactly.
be jump scared.
I like a little bit of scare, but then I'd like for you to show me, okay, Universal, hit me with what you got.
Make
like
me feel like I'm really there.
when they
Chucky was that
did-
way too.
When we got to go backstage with Mike and some of the other team there at Universal and see the elevator that they made for The Shining that had the blood.
Blood pouring out of it. Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the kind of stuff I live for with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, it's just like humans doing amazing engineering feats.
Yeah, the practical effects that they put together is
All
awesome,
the werewolf
yeah.
heads that they're using mechanically, it's really cool.
And I don't know if you guys have this, but if I know that someone's going to jump scare me, it does not scare me.
It doesn't do anything for me either.
It's
I'm
just
too
like-
busy looking at everything, and I go, "Awesome job, buddy," and then I keep moving.
Because if you know it's coming, then I know this is coming from the person their wife scares them all the time, and then
But
he
you don't know
films
that's
it.
coming.
And,
You don't know that's coming.
yeah, but yeah, I could
also,
be,
sometimes it's a sensory issue, like the loud noises in my ear. I hate that.
yeah. It was just a
Or it's a
loud.
distraction to the left, and he's coming from the right all
Like
the time.
if like someone blasted a foghorn in my ear, and I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I scared you," and I'm like, "You blasted a
Yeah,
foghorn in
well,
my
that's
ear."
that's part of Halloween Horror
Some of
They
that
Nights.
is
do a
a,
bit of that. They have pedals and things you
yeah,
step
some
on.
people wear
Chainsaws, the clackers
earplugs
in
for
your
that.
ear.
Yeah.
So there's Stranger Things, there's The Last of Us,
There's
and-
Dueling Dragons, which is
Yeah.
really good, but Yeti was my favorite non-IP house. Like, it was fantastic the way they did that. It was a bunch of Bigfoots and stuff like that in there.
Does the Yeti move?
Yeah. And there's, well, I don't want to spoil one of the things that's in it.
No, they put a Easter egg in there.
Well, there's a cocaine bear in there.
Oh, okay. Well, you just
Spoiler.
spoil-
Yeah,
I don't
spoilers,
want
I
to
don't care.
spoil it, but here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spoiler.
I don't care.
Damn. Why do you do that?
Oh, because we saw him outside the thing. Because he's so big, you see him over the fence while you're waiting through line.
Well,
so
that's
when
a
he's coming in,
design
you see
flaw.
it. Yeah, yeah.
That's a design flaw.
Yeah.
If, like I look and like I'm standing and the fence is just here, then I see a cocaine bear popping over the
Yeah.
top.
Listen, I know I'm being a hypocrite right now by saying this.
Oh, here it
but
comes.
when
He's
you
gonna
said
do it anyways.
Yeti, it reminded me of a commercial I saw while watching football, which I did complain out loud. Why would you put this on a show that kids could be watching? Like a Dirty Jim that time, or the belt that said F word.
That belt buckle said the F word in LED lights.
But
I'm gonna set down your kiosk.
there's a Jack Link's commercial where Bigfoot is standing at a urinal the opposite direction, and fucking fire hose blasting
What?
urine.
I've seen
It's
that one,
awesome.
yes.
It's a great.
And then I'm like, what?
Why are you doing that
I'm
in
like,
a Jack
what?
Links commercial?
But it was like this guy is fire hose blasting his urine, and then I was like, I know my kids are laughing, and they're like, oh my god, they were shocked, and then I'm like, I can see how some sort of parent that's a little more conservative than me. Even me, I was like shocked by it. Like, I was
Oh
like,
my God.
Samantha just saw it.
Yeah, I've never seen
It's like
this.
a Sunday
This is-
afternoon
this
football.
is too far.
Yeah, right. Watch
Uh-oh.
this. Watch
It comes out of his back.
What the hell?
Tom, don't do this in the pool later.
It's the best commercial on TV right now.
But it's like that's at 2 o'clock on a football Sunday.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
I support that.
I'm okay with
You
that.
understand why I like cables? And cable's better.
I'm like, is America conservative or
Cable,
not?
no, cable kids are tougher. That's amazing. He watches that. Laughs and
This is
laughs.
not cable. This is Channel
No,
9.
it's on-
the Dolphins game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's on cable. That's the same broadcast.
They got to keep your
No,
attention because the
That's
Dolphins
the
were winning by
regular
so
HD
much.
broadcast,
Yeah.
man.
All
That's
right.
standard TV.
What else you got?
But there's also a bunch of like the other houses. There was like Universal's Unmasked, which was like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, The Invisible Man. That was the longest house. Like if that one,
The
for
classics.
for the time that you're in line, we were in there for 5 minutes. That was the shortest wait, and it was the longest house. So it was like definitely worth to go to if it's a short wait.
People seem to have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to like the classic Universal
Monster,
monsters,
yeah.
like your Dracula, Swamp Thing, Frankenstein, that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. And I think that'll always be around.
The least favorite house for me was The Exorcist. It was not. It didn't have the old stuff, the original Exorcist with the spinning heads.
Isn't
and
this
stuff
the
like
new
That's
for
the
the
new
The
new
one,
Believer?
right?
Yeah, it's different, but
I've heard
it just
mixed
didn't do to
reports
me.
on that movie being either awesome or horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard it's good, but people are comparing it to the original, and
Yeah.
it's not a sequel. It's like a standalone thing. So maybe that's
Hmm.
why people don't like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it does look like, super scary.
it was okay. It was a little bunch of little girls that have the demon makeup and stuff like that. So it didn't do anything for me.
yeah.
Little girl demon's terrifying.
Yeah.
me, it
I
doesn't
mean,
do
some
anything,
people
so
hate
I'm
that.
like,
Some
yeah.
people hate clowns, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But Dueling Dragons was cool because you can choose your own adventure at the end. It's dark, it's fire and ice, and I just went the opposite way of the people in front of us. They went to ice, I still went to fire.
It's about the same, though, right? I mean,
I figured,
has
yeah,
to be, right?
yeah.
Or would it be funnier to make one of them just like
Completely
absolutely
different,
lackluster?
yeah.
Like you just
I
walk
think
out the
you should
entrance.
do that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you make like ice. You just walk right out the entrance. Fire. You get all the fun stuff.
Yeah, one's blue, one's red. I get it. I'm sorry.
The Chucky
I
house,
like that. Yeah, now you get it.
the Chucky house was amazing. We did that second to last.
chicken house?
Chucky house.
Oh, I thought you said.
And
the
they had
chicken
little
house.
animatronics that were the exact size of Chucky in the house, and they were amazing.
Did their hips work?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna need those.
Yeah, probably. They also did the eyeball scene from Child's Play 2. You remember when the guy was in the conveyor belt and they were building the Chuckies in the factory, and the guy gets pulled in the conveyor belt and they push the eyes through his face?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
They have that scene in there.
Okay,
So yeah,
all right.
like it has a lot of the
Nostalgia.
comedian that's from here, Dwayne. He's in that house. He plays
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
we had him
mid
in here.
spiel. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to shave his beard because of it, so it's fun to mess
He's
with him as the way through there.
Dr. Like some
Oddfellow,
odd
right?
fellow. Yeah, like almost looks like a Caribbean or New Orleans inspired.
Well, that's one of the other houses.
Witch
but he was
doctors,
doing
like a
he was doing
voodoo.
Chucky that night. He wasn't doing Oddfellow that night.
Oh, he's doing Chucky.
He was doing a bunch of stuff. Like he's all over the park.
People love him, though. I've
Yeah,
been
he's
seeing him all
fantastic.
over
I
my
love Dwayne.
TikTok
Yeah.
of people
Yeah.
going there just to interact with
Yeah,
him.
just to get a photo with him. That's cool. I like to see him blowing up like that.
Yeah,
man.
the Mr. Oddfellow is like a carnival, but there's a bunch of escaped convicts at the carnival, and there's a lot of attractive.
true.
late-
That checks
You
out.
would like that house. There's a lot of attractive women in that house.
Okay.
That's the reason to go through that
I
one.
do like, pinch me,
Scary
or like,
and
guilty when charged, right? I do like a hornier house. I like when you walk in and you're like, look, I'm not going to make any bones about it. Chance, the clown,
Yeah.
come on, man. I mean, there is an element of sexuality to
Yeah.
to that icon. That,
Harley Quinn kind of
yeah, dude, Harley
effect of
Quinn's
it, yeah.
awesome. So, yeah.
But the only other thing I have for Nerd is, have you guys been watching Gen V on Amazon Prime?
Who is she?
It's the spin-off of The Boys. It's basically they're in college.
Oh, it's the superhero college.
Yes.
Is it just as graphic?
Oh my God, it is super graphic.
So it's,
Like I can't say some of the stuff they've done in the show.
Wow.
It's so bad.
And these are supposed to be like young
Like,
teens.
Yeah.
well, why would they go to college? Like,
Because
they're
they
already-
Oh,
learn-
no, he's out.
They learn how to be superheroes
Are
there
you out?
and do like media and like because remember how they
Oh,
have
it's
to
a
be famous.
superhero college.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I thought
Yeah.
they were
You
just
don't
in
listen to
UF.
them. They're at a superhero. It's superheroes
Okay.
only.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that they get into.
So it's like
It's like Professor X's mansion,
Gotcha.
and there's
Except
a bunch of
hornier,
superheroes. Yeah,
right?
there's definitely hornier stuff. Yeah,
so everybody, all the students are superheroes, and they're doing the stereotypical
Yeah.
college thing.
And, like, some of
the
them have powers.
hazing,
But is the boys
banging each other?
Is
They're
the
doing
boys
the car wash.
Oh.
and this is the boys and this just
Oh,
becoming?
don't! Did anybody else just see what EJ
I
just
said
did?
kind
to
of
me?
like that. I said it aloud. Sorry.
No, you went.
No, I said
No, I
kind
didn't
of like
say
that.
that. No, I didn't even say
I
that.
did not do
What is-
that.
Don't do, you don't do that either. You don't do that either. That's not allowed.
I said kind of like that by mouthing the words so they could
You
talk.
had your mouth and
Don't
tongue out.
mouth. Shut your mouth.
Oh my
Well,
god!
you did that.
Oh, without the
do that.
fingers.
I did not
I
do
think
that.
without
I said
the
car
fingers.
wash and then
Yeah.
They do that.
Are the
kinda.
boys and this Gen V, is this just becoming like the whole show is just going to be like, they're superheroes. They have sex and do things like this guy has superhero style diarrhea. This guy
Well,
can blast his
there's a
Yeah.
girl
his
that
seed. Like it's all becoming like
there's a girl that can shrink down, but the only way she
Yeah,
can do it
she's-
is if she pukes.
right, and then she's
And then
gonna
she's
climb
on
and
a guy like this.
Right.
Oh,
No,
holding
you see
like
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The boys is becoming a nothing but superheroes growing inside of each other and blasting
Yeah.
each other with
Yeah.
with fluids. It's
Oh,
stupid.
yeah.
It's stupid.
No,
It's
no,
too
but-
far.
I'm
Some
done
stuff.
with it. I'm
Yeah.
over it.
No,
That's-
well,
It's
all
fun
I'm
to
gonna
watch
say-
though.
no,
Yeah,
there's no story anymore.
Well, at least there's the element of the rated R. I think this all stemmed from like Deadpool.
But I
and
think
they
that's the only
realizing-
reason people are watching it.
Yeah.
It's just to see a small superhero crawl in somebody's BH and
Yeah.
then get bigger and rip them apart.
yeah,
I'm like,
the other
that's no
side.
story. That's stupid.
Yeah. But definitely watch it. It's only 4 episodes in so far, so you can catch up real fast.
I haven't caught the Adam Eve origin
from
story.
Invincible, yes.
Yeah, that's an
That's
hour.
good to watch, yeah.
It's an hour.
Started
It's short,
that.
yeah.
Is it good though?
It's
good.
worth watching, yeah.
Okay, I love
it's a
her
prequel,
character.
so it tells you kind of what happened.
Yeah, her character, and I don't know what happened with her parents. and
Yeah,
I know,
it explains
yeah,
all
okay,
that.
Great,
yeah.
great. That's
Without
awesome.
giving away, that's what there's.
All right.
So let's talk about sports, right?
My tongue is numb.
I'm
I'm not joking.
Talk to EJ's. His is not. His is loose.
Mine's
as
I'm not
Fine.
joking.
What are you
like,
talking about? I
I
used
can't
it
even
this
feel
morning.
it in my mouth.
Oh, he shouldn't have been licking your lips.
no. I think that stuff got on my tongue.
How did
and-
it get on your tongue?
Yeah, because I'm used to
Licking your
moving-
Licking your mustache.
Yeah.
Oh god!
I'm a detective.
If
I'm
he
a detective.
poisons himself, it's not my fault.
Oh,
Your tongue is brown.
I will pull you out of the pool. I was a lifeguard at Wet and Wild. If I need to do, I'll pull you out.
Oh, you gonna take
no,
that?
yeah,
You gonna
no,
take
you
that?
better leave me in there.
Let you die.
I refuse to
No,
be saved
your
by
kids
you.
need you. I
If
couldn't do
EJ
that.
beats
No,
you
no.
and you start drowning, just let you die.
yeah.
And then I'll bring
My
your boys
kids
to
all
the
no
pool.
respect for me.
I'll look at him at the bottom of the pool.
So all right, what's
Definitely got to talk about football. How'd you do in your gambling? I know you're out of the guillotine league, so
Yeah, he didn't care. He got locked out. That
Well,
doesn't even count.
I have the worst record in my regular fantasy football
Oh,
league.
man.
Of all the entire league, I'm 1-4. I have Christian McCaffrey too, and
he's playing fantastic.
multiple
really
weeks
is.
he's gotten me over 50 points.
Yes, he's
and I still managed to lose.
This team sucks.
And no, it's not even that. It's just like happenstance. I'm choosing.
You choose the wrong quarterback a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
go with Trevor Lawrence.
I'm
you
go-
went with that other guy. You
Geno
got.
Smith,
Yeah,
and
you went
then
Geno.
every time I
no.
choose I overthink it, and then the quarterback on my bench outscores, and then I
did that this week.
I have pretty good players, but
You do.
I choose them to play the wrong week.
You're not
and-
choosing the right
yeah.
matchups, yeah. Because
So
I had like
I
Purdy
blown
and Jordan Love, and Jordan Love was horrible last night.
But my regular gambling is going pretty good, although I've gotten to the point where I've sucked all the fun out of it.
Yeah, you haven't even put up
Yeah.
any picks lately.
I don't
Yeah,
really
I've
care.
noticed that. I've been talking
it's
about
not
it.
even fun. It's miserable. Yeah.
he's
Like,
ruined it for himself.
He doesn't really talk about it much anymore, which kind of sucks. Because
Yeah.
like
I used to
I
love-
even asked you walk into Publix, tell the truth. I said, "Hey, how's your gambling going?" And he was like, "It's fine."
yeah, because
And
when
I'm
you-
like, "Are you winning?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm winning." I'm like, "Well, you should sound happier if
No,
you're winning."
because it's so small amounts that don't even matter, and I'm betting on the correct unit size, and I'm
Well, why don't you make a big
I'm not-
boy
yeah,
bet?
make
I'm
it
not-
Take
crazy.
some company
Well, because
money
I-
and make a big boy
Because
bet.
I promised myself that I'd stick to the plan and that I'd be
Trust the
disciplined.
process.
No,
Process.
that I'd be disciplined and I'm not going to get
That's
out.
not fun.
It's not fun. It's
Yeah.
Being disciplined is not fun.
Yeah.
I hate doing it. The Monday morning, I wake up at 6 a.m. just to get on there and make my opening bets and the opening lines.
And he hates it.
And then
now you're locked in. You have to
Ruining
do
your
it.
life.
then I
Yeah.
follow the market. I'm
When do you choose to
comparing power ratings.
When does it
Yeah,
get
when
so?
do you stop?
When does it get so bad that you're like, well, I'm out?
Can't never stop.
You should put a bunch of money on the London game this week.
Hell no. I'm never the London
Hell
game.
no.
You never bet on the London game. That's one of my rules. You stay away from the London game.
Sounds like your rules aren't working for you.
I know.
No, I'm
No,
winning.
his
I'm
rules
winning,
are
but
working.
by
No,
small amounts.
His
I'm
rules are working. It's just driving him crazy because he's not.
He's not having fun.
I'm
Yeah.
up
Because
to
it's not the riding the
too
lightning.
even. It's too
You're not riding the
even
lightning
keep.
at all.
yeah, week 5, I'm up like $230 after 5
That's
weeks
great.
of grinding.
That's great.
If you put in like the hours of work I put into it, I put about 700 hours of work in for about $230. Which, if you asked me to walk or to go to hang out at 7-Eleven for 2 hours, I wouldn't do it for $200.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
We used to do it for more.
Yeah. But I'm just saying
300.
that taking all the fun. Go ahead.
Ah, but okay, so you're only up 230 for the season.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not good. You need to go more. You got to go hard.
No, he's winning.
I want excitement. That's the way I
Yeah, but
love
he's-
when
no,
you
he's
win.
gonna
the way
stay
to lose.
disciplined.
I love the
Yeah.
highs and the lows when you do it. That's what I come in here to listen for.
Well,
for
give
sure.
me a new sports story. Next story.
We'll get to talk about the Dolphins and how good they're doing lately.
Well, not that
And
good.
how-
They lost against the Bills. They got annihilated, and they.
That was a fluke.
I
told
they're
you
in their
the
division.
weather was
That's
like-
the one game that the weather.
the
It was
one game you wanna
65
win.
degrees.
Anytime it's below 60, they lose.
No, but what
Like if you
EJ,
look at
That's
the
a real
statistics,
stat?
yes, it's
no,
really
Get out of here, EJ. 60
Uh-oh.
degrees.
We have to do a
Okay.
bit with
Fight.
him later.
Fight.
60 degrees does not. That's the perfect football temperature. They're
For them up there, yes, but the Dolphins have played horribly every time the weather is colder
yeah, when it's below
because they
30.
have the huge advantage in Miami when it's really hot.
Yeah, but not at 60 degrees when it's below 30, EJ. I'm just telling you, the 60 degrees, the Miami Dolphins players are like, yes,
I guarantee.
this is awesome.
Put it like this: I'll put a bunch of money on the Dolphins when they play the Bills at the end of the season in
so
December.
many
Well,
bets
Okay, end of the
spiraling
season.
out
I
of
know, I
control.
can't keep track.
I know.
At the end of the season,
Need a
it's going to be
spreadsheet.
28 degrees. Of course, then it bothers you.
Yeah.
They get the 20, when it's
But
below
it's in Miami.
freezing.
No, it'll be 90 degrees in Miami because they're playing in Miami in December.
Yeah, but it'll be.
It'll mess the Bills
It
up.
won't be
I
the
guarantee
90s. It'll be.
I wouldn't
a
think it was the
76.
temperature as much as just playing.
Yeah,
Like I
December.
would think it would be the players on the field.
We
What
beat
did
the Bills last year in September in Miami because it was hot. In
Yeah.
December in Miami, it's fine. You don't know nothing about gambling.
Okay.
That's why
All
you're
right.
having
Let's
too much
talk
fun.
about the other
Weather
Miami
affects
team.
that, yeah.
Let's talk about the other.
Oh, the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
and
let's-
I didn't watch that complete game against Georgia Tech until the very end. I was doing my laps in the pool and I turned it on to see them fumble in the fourth quarter with like 26 seconds left. And then Georgia Tech comes down and scores a touchdown behind the safeties
Easily,
and blows
too.
the game.
Yeah.
All they had to do is take a knee and the game's over with.
And you
Yes.
said that this
And
coach
they-
has done that before.
Cristobal has done it before. When he was coaching for Oregon, they were playing Stanford. Same scenario. They went for it.
See,
and
I changed my tune then. I like that because at least he's staying
He's
consistent to the
consistent?
way he plays.
Now,
Plays for the win. But he had the win. Never mind. He could have
Yeah,
just
you
taken
had to
a knee.
win. Yeah,
you didn't need to. Do
Unless
it.
he's the only reason
to
I
be
could
good
see
to
it
win.
is if they were padding their stats for like the BCS because that has screwed us in the past. My sophomore year, we didn't get to play the championship game because we lost to Washington and Florida State jumped us in the BCS
Okay.
rules. So I can understand that a little bit, but it still doesn't make any sense to me.
but even
You take the W, no
not-
matter what.
padding your stats by doing 3-yard runs.
No.
But if you score a touchdown, it doesn't look like a close game against Georgia Tech, who's not ranked at the time.
Correct.
And Miami was ranked, I think, 15 or something like
I
that.
thought
at
they
the
were
time.
18.
Yeah,
So-
somewhere in the
15 maybe.
teens.
Yeah, they were ranked. I know that.
now
They're not now, right?
No, I
this
don't think so.
So here's I've been thinking about this, and I actually like that he continued to run it and didn't take a knee. And I want all coaches to try to score at all times.
The most
So never punt, go for it on fourth down every
or
single time.
never take a knee or anything. Or so like remember Mahomes
Well, I've been saying
last
that
week.
for years about I hate game management in football. I mean, it's like garbage plays to me when you're just managing it out. I hate that.
It's the way you play the game.
It is.
It's like
It's
chess.
chess. I get
Yeah.
it, but I hate it.
So remember when
I wanna see some
Mahomes
stuff.
Mahomes was running free. He was
yeah.
a
He
clear
had a chance to
touchdown.
score a touchdown, and he took a knee.
And we've seen lots of running backs do this where they slide on the 1 yard line, and that guarantees them the win, right?
But it screwed all the Chiefs' bettors because they didn't cover the spread because of it.
Didn't cover the spread. Fantasy football, everybody's bitching about it,
Yeah.
but that's what you're supposed to do.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, because that gives you 100% chance of winning,
Yeah.
as opposed to now if they score, they're up by 2 scores, 10 points, and then it's a very unlikely. They probably got, a 2% chance of the other team scoring a field goal or a touchdown, then scoring another.
And then getting the onside or something?
Yeah, getting on- yeah,
it's
you know,
probably
onside
less
kick,
than
yeah.
2%.
Yeah, then you have to get the onside. Then you still have to score again. So you have to kick even an insanely long field goal or a Hail Mary. Right? But statistically, it's like either you go down on the 1 that gives you 100%
You
chance.
win automatically.
Or there's a 2. But I like just always scoring, or like you could kneel or run the football because I feel like the essence of the game wants you to play the
Sportsmanship, yeah.
Like
that's what I've been saying for years. I actually like the fact. That's what I've
like
started to
don't
say.
fumble.
I do like the fact that he's staying consistent to what he typically does.
I still
If
don't
you're a
like it.
coach
It's-
that always does that, then you should always do that.
Yeah,
Because
like-
that's your style.
Like
And the fact
never
that he's-
kneel, just run in the ball, and then it's like it's up to your running back to protect the ball. And I know that everybody's going to be trying to pry the
Push
ball.
it all, yeah.
It also makes
Punching
it more
it out
fun
of
for
there.
the fans, who essentially that's what this is all for, right? Like if there was no kneeling allowed, right? If they changed the rule, like you
like
cannot
Savannah
kneel.
Banana style.
Oh, you
and-
definitely have to
kneeling
get
allowed.
a positive yardage play.
Yeah,
Okay. Or at least attempt to it.
it would make it more entertaining, right?
Oh yeah.
How would it make it not more entertaining?
But then you run into this embarrassment. They should not have lost to Georgia Tech.
Well, no.
Well,
What
it's for
Tom's
you.
saying? What
But how
Tom's saying-
exciting was it for Georgia fans?
What
Yeah, it
Tom's
was
saying
fantastic
is
for
that
Georgia
if
Tech
you
fans.
guys are going to do a run play, then your running back plus everybody around there needs to be on high alert because look, this isn't allowed anymore. So you have to guarantee a forward progress play,
Or just
right?
slide.
Yeah,
do
you
that,
got there's I do kind of like this.
Because
It seems like XFL rules.
Because
or
this
something,
is
you know?
better for the fans and for the bettors and for fantasy and everything. Is they always have to run a play.
Yeah.
You
No
cannot
kneeling.
kneel. Yeah, and no going down, or because you can't really,
But then they're going to just do the tush push or the what is it? The Philadelphia
no,
shove
yeah.
now is what it's
No,
called.
no,
That's fine.
No, they got a
'Cause
cute
then they would
name
do that
for
all the
it.
time.
They got a cute name for it. Is it the Philly shove?
It was the Philadelphia shove.
thought it
yeah.
had a better
Instead of
name.
like brotherly shove. That's
the
what
brotherly
it's called.
shove.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I don't even
I
like
love that.
you
I
know.
kinda like it,
You know
yeah.
when they kneel at the end of the game, and then the two, like a running back and fullback, get on both sides of the quarterback just to
Just to
protect
make
them.
sure, yeah.
It's stupid. I don't even like that part of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally
you know what I'm saying?
disagree.
Like,
it's victory set. It's one of the times I got into games for.
yeah, but how is that entertaining for the fan? Right? It would be 10 times
Dude,
more.
I've been saying this. I like.
But then people
things
complain that you're running up the score if you're running like they were doing.
No.
No
All
one's
you
gonna
have to do
complain
is
that.
you don't have to score a touchdown. You just have to keep
By the
moving
way,
forward.
no one complains about running up the score. That's
Yes,
not a
they
thing.
do.
Who?
A lot of people complain that you're beating a team that's inferior to you and you're running up the
Yeah,
score.
the team, the other team's
yeah.
fans.
They
Screw
get mad
them.
about
I
that.
have never complained
It
about
starts
that.
fights a lot if you're running up the
I
score.
have never complained about it, ever.
Who
I will never
cares? I
complain
don't
about
care.
that. That's the
It's all
sport.
for us.
I've
It's
always,
for
had,
us.
I've always had a problem with that. Like I hate it when they do that in high school games. I like it when it's like 106
They do a
to
running
7.
clock.
Yeah.
I like just keep it running, man.
Yeah, that's
That's part of the game.
Who cares about say, oh, you're hurting their feelings? It's not about feelings. It's about
Well, to your point though, you just said what's more entertaining for the fans. Is that really entertaining?
Yeah, if you're
just-
getting stomped the whole
Right.
time,
It
you're
is
going to be
if-
embarrassing.
If it's your team, yes, it is. Like
Yeah.
when
So
Manchester.
for one specific fan group.
Yeah, but I mean for either group, could go either way,
Well,
right?
we're
You have
talking
your
about-
you have a
Not if
chance
you're
to
getting your
get it.
ass stomped.
You have a
Yeah.
chance
What
to
if you're
get it.
just casually watching it and you don't really have a dog in the fight and you're just watching? Is it entertaining to watch somebody get stomped out?
Yes,
Yeah,
because
do
I want to
hold
see
on.
more touchdowns.
But
yeah,
you're
it
talking.
is.
But you're talking about two different things. I'm talking about not being allowed to kneel at the end and run up the
Yeah,
clock.
he's
anymore.
talking about running up the score, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
different.
Like in this,
I understand, but the argument was what's more entertaining for the fans.
But I
Yeah,
think
but-
goals, field goals, in basketball,
Well,
in football, in
but
NASCAR,
you-
whatever
But
it is.
how many times people they're at a game and it's a blowout and you leave early because you're like, oh,
Yeah, let's
what?
beat
You
the
know what I mean? it's not
I
that
don't wanna watch
it's not
this
that
anymore.
entertaining.
You
Let's
can't
not
cons-
pretend like it is.
Typically, it's
But
my
yeah.
team. I've never left early for a blowout. It's
No,
always been my team.
But you
so
can't
I don't-
control
I don't-
that. Both teams
I don't
are
have a
trying
life
to
experience for that.
like both teams are trying to score as much as possible at all times. So it's
Yeah, I like
you
that.
can't control whether it's going to blow out or not, but you can control whether a team kneels with especially in the NFL when if you don't have any timeouts left and it goes a sub 2 minutes, the game's over.
It's over with, yeah.
Yeah, like this happens every single week and multiple times sometimes where it's like, all right, it would be a lot more entertaining for all of us and both sides. On both fans for you to continually have to run the ball or even do a tush push or a quarterback sneak because at least there's a chance because when you're in victory
the exchange
formation
of
and you kneel,
the quarterback and the center could get fumbled. That does happen. Yeah.
there's no chance in victory formation.
Yes,
for,
there is. You can
no.
still fumble the ball in victory formation. I've seen it happen.
Okay, it's happened.
It's a really bad scenario. I've
Jake
seen it.
Cornell in our Twitch chat
But
room
it's-
said no one wants a blowout. That's not true. I want the Atlanta Falcons to blow out every team we play.
Yeah, but-
I want all blowouts.
Yeah, when the Miami Dolphins were beating the Denver Broncos 70-20,
Yeah.
I
I
was
want
like,
them to kick the
score
field
more,
goal.
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
I-
like when the Falcons were blowing out a certain Super Bowl team.
Patriots.
I mean, like I was like, this is freaking amazing. I
Pour
was
it
like, this
on,
is
more.
literally the best
Yeah.
day of my life.
Yeah, but I understand it's less entertaining, but that's something you can't control.
But they would have won the game if they'd have took knees the rest of the game.
Yeah, but
If the Falcons would have kneed the rest of the game, they would have won that game.
but that's not entertaining.
It's not entertaining, but hey, if you're winning the Super Bowl, how you do it, it's still a
Are
win.
we skipping any other sports stories we need to go to?
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
We
other?
I didn't have anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to
I
make
was just
sure
getting to the
that
swimming.
we're hitting them all.
How's your face? You still
Yeah, how
burning?
is your face?
Numb.
Your
My
tongue?
whole lips
Yeah.
and tongue are numb.
Yeah,
Definitely a
like
palsy?
that. Yeah, you have like that. What's that?
You gonna
thing?
be like Jim Ross?
What's
Palsy?
that thing that Bieber got,
What is?
where your mouth goes numb?
Oh, with the half your face.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
It's palsy.
Is it?
No,
oh,
yes,
Bell's
it's
palsy.
Bell's
Bell's
palsy,
palsy, yeah.
not cerebral.
So
Cerebral.
let's talk about Bill
Charitable.
Belichick.
Okay.
So
How they got stomped this weekend against the Saints.
Yeah.
He's fine. Leave
and
him
they
alone.
and they benched Mac Jones
yep.
in the fourth quarter.
There's I listened to a lot of these podcasts talk about how Bill Belichick. Some people are questioning whether he should retire this year, or even Robert Kraft should fire him, which I don't see happening.
No.
I don't. That'll he'll. I mean, they'll talk before if he wanted to get rid of him,
He'd
like
just retire.
Belichick would just leave.
Yeah.
But then it's who do you get to replace him? I know that they got someone in waiting within the organization, maybe, but it's like, is he better than Bill Belichick? Like, are you saying that Bill Belichick is somehow like? I know he's 72, but
Yeah, the game's passed him by at this
But
point.
I think newer. Like sometimes it's not about better. I always think this with
They
coaches.
should hire his son, who looks really trashy.
I always look at this like I think I learned this from EPL and from like traditional soccer. Is that like there are coaches that go to certain teams and don't do anything, but they're still amazing, best coach ever. Like Jose Mourinho. Like that's a coach that's so unpredictable, right? He goes to one team and he sucks, but then he'll go to Chelsea and he'll give you 4 championships.
yeah,
It just what fits at the time.
Well, you're seeing that with Sean Payton right now too.
Yeah, he's
he
not
does
good.
fantastic with the Saints, and then he looks like a dumpster fire
Yeah,
with
it's
the
bad.
Broncos.
It's bad.
But it's also way more complicated. That it's for instance, like some of the coaches have nothing to do with offensive play calling or even defense. Like
Right.
like a Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
You've got your offensive coordinator that calls the plays,
All of them.
and he's basically
He's known
just,
for his defense.
just, but also as he's the head coach, kind of the general manager. He sets the tone for the team and stuff. More of a
Like a Bobby Bowden.
motivator
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And there's some coaches that, like an Andy Reid, that is like calling the plays
Right.
and like is more instrumental into every single play. So it's all complicated. It's all different. It's all based on the coaching staff and stuff. So
also comes down to your personnel that you have as well.
and then your personnel, but people have been criticizing Bill Belichick because it's essentially in New England he's had full run of the organization, and there's no really GM. He makes all personnel decisions, which that's where the criticism is coming in the most. We're saying that Bill Belichick is no longer good
Maybe he's overwhelmed.
at making personnel decisions, or has made bad ones for so long that now they have a team
It's finally caught up to him.
that has poor personnel, which doesn't make much sense to me, and I'll explain, is because before the season started, I hear from these like analysts and these people that know more, and that like it's their job to study these things, like a full-time job, right? And they've gone through every single team and all their personnel, and everybody was in a general consensus that Arizona had the worst personnel, or the Rams, like they have a few veterans, but the rest of their team's rookies. And so no one ever mentioned New England Patriots. So, and all that analysts of who's got the worst personnel, so either all those, people analyzing the players were wrong and it's all BS anyway, or that they looked at New England's roster and they overlooked the fact because everybody's saying, look, their personnel's garbage. It was like, what happened? It's the same personnel as the beginning of the year. I know they had some injuries.
Is it as easy as his legacy has afforded him the luxury of him making decisions that you look at and you may, if it were a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year coach, he's new, young guy, where you'd be like, what the hell is he doing? But because he's Belichick and has done the things that he's done, could it be as simple as they're like, well, he must know what he's doing, and they give him and afford him the pass?
Or maybe this is the
I think that's what
year.
it is. I think that he is afforded a pass because he's, at one level before Brady left and then won his championship with Tampa, it was those guys are the GOATs, best coach, best player, right? And nobody even debated it. Mm-hmm. No one said a word about it. They're like, yeah, they're the best. But now... they still say Brady's the best because he went off and proved it. Belichick, he's not afforded the same type of career. It's not going the same way.
Yeah, and I'm just questioning why didn't anybody talk about New England's personnel before the season started?
Because it would have been insulting to a GOAT.
Yeah, he's done so well for so long. He has credit for him to stay longer. And usually he hasn't won every year. He's had off years every once in a while. What did he win, like maybe 3 within 5 years? So every other year he won. So usually there is an off year every year. So they're probably going to give him a season, maybe 2.
All with Brady, and then once Brady left, then it was
nothing but bad.
It was Cam Newton. Then who was after Cam Newton? Would it just go to their current quarterback?
Mac Jones?
Is it Mac Jones? Or
Mac Jones.
No, I thought there was somebody else between Cam Newton and Mac Jones, but I can't remember what it was.
It may have only been Cam Newton to Mac Jones, but and I know they got some injuries and stuff, but now there's all the talk about does he want to go for Don Shula's record?
Yeah.
And then
all-time wins.
I was talking to EJ before the show, and he apparently he'd have to win like 30 plus more games.
It's like 3 seasons worth of wins completely. He'd win every
I don't
game.
think he can do it,
so
man.
I think, tell you the truth, with the team he has right now, it would take him like 6 years to do it.
Yeah.
So does he move teams?
And has a chance to like maybe go for like the Raiders or something like that and have a chance to win
I think it would be a
with different
very
personnel.
poor choice to change teams.
Yeah.
But then you don't get the record. And
Yeah,
that's
well,
his
that's
whole
fine.
life.
You just look. You gotta. Sorry.
No,
old man.
but you want to be the winningest
You blew
coach
it.
ever.
Well, you
and
blew
then,
it.
He should go back to the Browns where he started. That'd be awesome if he did that.
That'd be pretty
That'd
cool.
be fun to
That
watch.
would be pretty cool.
Because that's where he started. He was the first head coach for the Browns for a little while.
Here's the thing: Brady left and to win a Super Bowl, so why not Belichick? Especially
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
And
But
For some
Andy
reason-
Reid did it too.
Yeah, he
Andy
did.
Reid went from Philadelphia and he
Yep.
went to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
so
went to the Chiefs. You're right.
it's not a big deal.
if it's about, I know like New England fans, they might not even be mad, and maybe this is he's looking at it like
I don't want him. I've seen all these young coaches. I want one of these new young guys. I like these young guys.
Yeah.
These young guys are killing it.
Well,
I love these young
Also,
guys.
it might be his play style is different now. He's passed by.
Yeah.
Well, he's better than the Chargers head coach. I know that for sure. And he's better than probably 16 other head coaches in the NFL.
Better than most.
Okay.
So, I want to see him win it, because
I want Don Shula to keep it.
I did meet Don Shula one time. It was amazing.
Don't do that to Don. Don't do that to Don, man. I cannot believe you would even say that.
No,
Like,
but
Were you wearing the bear costume when you met Don?
No,
But
he
I feel-
didn't. He
but
was shaking.
Oh, he should have had
was
it
freaking
on.
out.
That would have been the best.
I feel like Belichick should hold that record. I feel like Belichick is a better coach than Don Shula.
Shula had the 72 Dolphins.
Yeah, but that could have been just
Are
happenstance.
you saying this because
How dare
Belichick
you.
to you seems like more of a modern era
Yeah.
coach?
He's
than,
one with the modern times.
I mean, he's still
Yeah.
active. My point is
He's
that,
won more Super Bowls
So when you
than
look
Don
at
Shula.
Don is like even though he's considered the greatest, you look at Belichick because still active and still actively out there doing it.
And because
He didn't leave to start some steakhouse.
it just
I'll tell you that.
Well, it just seems like he's the best that has ever coached, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, all right. So
Let's go swimming.
right
We're gonna
after
go
this,
swimming?
we're gonna walk to the
Yeah.
Baldwin Park pool, and we're gonna swim. What is it? There and back.
Yeah.
And so, what did you bring any? I saw you have some big old balloony shorts.
Yeah, how are you gonna swim in those?
Just
oh
watch.
my God!
Don't worry.
Who makes those dragonfly clothing? Where'd you get those? Hot Topic?
You know,
I think I got them at Costco.
They're
no, I got them
huge.
at Amazon. That's where it was.
They're
Amazon.
huge and they're burlap.
all right, we'll see what happens. We'll see you at the pool.
All right, and then I'll shut this off. Bye, guys. We got a jet.